Okay, good morning. You are back with the crew. Okay, today, as you can see in the title, we have the Bankers 7. Now let's go over this. This is not Allen's 7. This is not all Bankers 7. This is just the primary 7 players that are involved. In my opinion, there's actually 4. So let's get into those 4. The big 4 are obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but that's true with almost all banks around the world take Litecoin. It's amazing how far they've come, and they're just a key player in at least the Western banking world. They just are. And the 4th one being XRP. Okay, those are the major 4. What's going on is what they all decided they were going to do is, okay, we're going to build this out. That's going to be our platform. And when I talk about bankings and platforms, they're all in competition and they all have different agendas. They're not all on the same team, as I've mentioned in other videos, and you can look those up. There's 3 or 4 teams at the top, and everybody wants to control money, right? Because it's the power of the labor force of the world, okay? And all goods run on those tracks. Okay, so when we look at these Power 4, they're different groups in each one of those coins. They're supported by different, I'm going to use the word elite, families, groups, sanctions, different people. Now, they are all on different teams, okay? They all support different coins and blockchains, right? So now let's start from the bottom up with banking. What I mean by banking coins. Bankers is a broad term, but the big term that I want you to understand is the guys at the top. So banking is like 5 levels. Those 5 levels start as your local bank, okay? And you'll go, credit union. Then your next level up would be, or a community bank. Your next level up would like B of A or Chase or something like that. Then you go to international banking, okay? Now there's pieces in between of this. And then you go to central banking, and then you go to the people who run central banking. That's the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, okay? The BIS controls at least the Western monetary systems. That's who creates it, who controls it all. Believe it or not, I know it's controversial and you can't really find it printed anywhere, but the BIS runs the Federal Reserve. I know, like I said, not everyone believes that, but I believe it to be true. The BIS was created in 1930, and it was created with a group of 18 members, and those 18 members, you can look all this stuff up, but they are from all different countries. We're talking about Sweden, you're talking about France, Germany, the US, UK, Canada, anyway, the Western countries, the Swiss were big players in this, obviously. Okay, I actually, speaking of Swiss, I know, I've talked about this in a few of my other videos. I actually personally know a Swiss banker that is was one of the leading bankers on this planet, period. Great man. I learned a lot about banking. I learned a lot about money from that man. Okay. Now, that's how the levels of banking go. So when I say banker's coin, that doesn't mean all banks are all in on it against you and I. And that's not how the system works. The system at the top is a game. It's a chessboard, and they're playing against each other for different control and different factors. So when something comes along like XRP, and it's lightning fast, and it's obviously the thing that's going to beat Bitcoin, okay, in speed and transactional speed and smart contracts, and well, they've recently gotten into that, but everything about XRP is going to outcompete Bitcoin on a technological level. That gives the upper hand to the other team. That team doesn't like being overcome by technology, by its opponent. Now, like I said, this is complicated, but when the other three came along, okay, they came along for different reasons. XLM, as we know, is a spin-off from XRP. XLM was created and coerced, if you will, and taken over, and its founder, as we know, Jeb, left because he wasn't happy with maybe the direction of where XLM was going. That tells me who the players involved were maybe having more control over it than they were that they originally had hoped the coin would be. Big players are behind all of this, okay? All of it. And they've infiltrated their way into this thing because it is the future of money and currency. So that's what they do. Now, XLM being the fifth, right? Now, 6 and 7 are quite controversial, okay? They've been around, one of them's been around a long time, but they really were adopted or created, I should say, out of Silicon Valley, and it became this coin that just skyrocketed from nowhere to somewhere, and I'm talking of Solana. Solana became a bankers sanctioned group, okay? Remember again now, guys, this aren't my favorite 7 coins. These aren't every banker on the planet's favorite 7 coins, okay? So this group said, hey, I need to compete with Ethereum speed, not too hard to do, and it's gas fees. Okay, that was pretty easy to do for, you know, XRP. I need to compete with Ethereum, and I need to compete with XRP. Along comes Solana. Lightning fast, secure, everything's going great, everything's doing well until, well, and if you look at the players behind Solana, just look at the list of who's who behind Solana and how fast its meteoric rise to the top of the top, I don't know where it is, top 20 coins, it had. And it's clearly had financial support from massive banking groups. Okay, now the last one is one that many of us know as Algorand. Algorand is the 7th coin in this group. Again, why was it created? It was created because we needed speed in a platform. Some of these are platforms, some of these are currency and platform, okay? Because of that, they have been in competition with each other, and when they compete with each other, they are constantly accelerating the technology, and it's gotten better and better and better over time. Now, what do we know about Solana? Well, they're in a lot of trouble. Why is it those guys, they're still in beta, and they've run into 15 problems? I don't even know how many times that thing has crashed isn't the right word, but it hasn't gone smoothly, and they keep being supported, and they keep being backed by financial banking global people that I'm talking about. Okay, let's get back to why those coins are adopted and taken as true money around the world when other coins aren't, okay? First of all, they are technology. The technology of cryptocurrency is the genie in the bottle. You and I know that. That genie came out of the bottle some 14 years ago now with Bitcoin. It's been adopted, its double spend, its security system, and its way of accountability is on its blockchain is going to change the future of man, as it already is doing now. That's what I'm going to call the genie. The system wants to control the genie. You and I own the genie. We own bits and pieces of those 7 coins, okay? Let me backtrack just a little bit. I am not a fan whatsoever of all 7 of these coins. I'm not telling you to buy all 7 of these coins. That's why I refer to them as the Bankers 7. The bankers love those coins. Not all banking system love that coin, those coins, okay? Remember, the BIS is a Western world coin supporter, okay? The BIS doesn't speak for China, and it doesn't speak for Russia and the BRICS nations. It just doesn't. So the BRICS nations have to come up with their own answers to what the BIS is. The BIS was created in 1930, and when they created it, it was completely based upon gold. And all those people came together and they created the power bank that it became. Now, today's world, what countries are adding more and more to their gold reserves? Not the BIS nations, the BRICS nations. And the BRICS nations are another battle on top of the other battle. Remember though, BIS doesn't see borders. They don't see borders at all. They simply see monetary money as control and power of energy of the labor force of the planet. So the BRICS nations are trying to compete now by putting their gold together and becoming a power to interact, I should say, not compete, interact in a fair playing field with said gold chunk, said pile of gold, we're even, okay, let's come to this table together and let's figure out a new monetary system. Now, how do I know, okay, in particular, this is where this video really gets good. It's been boring, I know, so far. Where it really gets good is the 2 largest sanctions or people or groups, okay, have acknowledged 2 coins. So we went from 7, now we're down to 2, okay? Those 2 coins are XRP and Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin's slow. I know it can't compete. I know I got all that. I get all that. But speed isn't everything. And adoption and functionality, and believe it or not, proof of work means a lot to the future of some of these coins. Proof of stake has some problems, as we all know, and we're seeing lately. Counterparty risk can be an issue. Yeah, I know. A lot of these coins, I know XRP, decentralized, I got that. But what I'm trying to say is there are people that don't trust XRP or Ripple. There just are at the top. Not all transactions around the globe are all going to run on those tracks. Period. It's not going to happen like that. I could be totally wrong. My speculation, my speculation, right? I would own both of those. Now, I know it's really hard to own Bitcoin. Okay, it's too expensive. I get all that. So if I were a person, not financial advice, if I were a person who was not in a strong financial situation, I would make sure that I owned some XRP. Because the people behind it, the banks behind it, the transaction speed is all happening now. That is the genie. Those are the genies that have come out of the bottle that are going to control the monetary system in the next 50 years. We know that. But how do I know that more than I've ever known it before? I did a video almost a year ago about this exact same topic. The BIS came out, slipped up. I can't find it on the internet anymore. I think they scrubbed it. I don't know. I'm not great at looking up old information like that, but maybe somebody can find it for me. The BIS came out about a year ago. No, I think it was 2 years ago now. Time flies. But 2 or 3 years ago now. I think it was 19. Anyway, they came out and they acknowledged that cryptocurrencies are money. They are currency. They acknowledged that. In fact, they said they gave it a value at that date as to 1% of the value of the currency of the planet was actually cryptocurrency. They gave it their blessing, if you will. And if you haven't listened to anything else in this whole video, that's the most important thing I've said, probably in all the 75 videos I've made. When people tell you, oh, Facebook is adopting it, or, you know, whoever, Twitter or whatever, YouTube's, you know, it doesn't matter. What matters is what BIS thinks it is. And when they came out and said that it is currency, cryptocurrencies are a currency. Cryptocurrencies are like gold. That's what they believe. They believe money to be gold, as I do, and silver. I know I bounced around a lot right there because it wasn't just about the 7, but you have to remember the players involved. Let me backtrack just a little bit. Those 7 coins, I think the top 2 are in real trouble, okay? Not Algorand so much, but Solana's in big trouble. There's also 3 or 4 other coins. I mean, you guys know who they are, and they're big players in the space. I don't pick those 7. Those aren't my 7. Those are the 7 that I keep hearing whenever I hear or deep dive into these coins. And if you look around, you look at Germany, you look at Switzerland, you look at Japan, all of these countries except those first 4. That tells you that they believe in those 4 for sure. Okay, so if I were you guys, I would find a way to make sure that I owned a few of the top 4. In whatever form or fashion that you feel fit for yourself. Okay, a lot of information in that video. I'm sorry I babbled on so much, but people have been asking me about the 7, and I just used the term the 7 casually, and I put it out in the video, and somebody, oh, well, who's the 7, you know? And then everybody wants some of those to be their 7 coins. I'm not advising that. That's not my advice. Anyway, with whoever pulling up, I better get moving. Okay, guys, with that information, I hope you got something out of this video, and I'm out.